I've never been in a cop car. I'm worried about you. Your parents are gonna kick her. Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
But like, it's not gonna go on the news or anything?
Depends, I don't know.
BBC News. Abraham and Mo were caught racing on the Causeway Street.
So what is the true story behind those two young men who went viral and captured the attention of millions of people on the internet? One day in Florida, two young men of Arab origin were arrested. Muhammad and his friend couldn't believe they were about to enter jail for the first time. However, despite their future being at stake, they made light of the situation. And one of them even mockingly said that their picture would be all over the news by tomorrow. He told his friend laughing, "The news will say we committed a crime on the highway." At that point, Muhammad reminded him that they are now in a big trouble. The officer who were taking them to the station thought they were afraid of the punishment. But in reality, the reason for those two young men's fear left everyone in shock. It turned out that they were more afraid of their families and their parents than the law itself. And Muhammad even told his friend, "If your parents find out what happened, you're in a big trouble."
I'm worried about you. Your parents are gonna kick her.
The two young men wished the matter would end quietly without any other relative finding out what they had done. On the evening of that day, the two were driving their car at a crazy speed. Even though it was a highway, their speed greatly exceeded the limit. And such speed could potentially hurt someone on the road. Unfortunately for them, there was an officer on patrol who managed to stop them. The officer initially thought that they were probably racing on the road for fun. However, the young man told him that this was not the reason at all. They said they were Muslims and it was their holy month, so they were fasting. But they were surprised to find they were late for breaking their fast, but that wasn't the real problem. The real issue for them that they were invited to break their fast with people who were now waiting for them. The officer didn't care about what they had to say, and he refused to let them go. That's when one of them remembered that there was something important that could get them free. He had over 7K in his car in cash, and he asked his officer if he could be released on bail since he had the money. The officer said yes because it was misdemeanor and not a serious crime. The young man paid the bail, but he had an extremely unusual request. He asked the officer if this story would be published or be anywhere on the news, because if their family found out that they had put their life at risk, they would be extremely angry at them. And the officer told them that he doesn't really know if it will be on the news or not. The officer let them go, but he first decided to look into the record. He discovered that this was not their first speeding offense, and they had a long history. And when he watched the highway surveillance footage, he found out that they were lying to him, because it was clear from the footage that each of them was trying to get ahead of the other. This meant that they were indeed racing, and not just late for breaking their fast, as they claimed previously. So to set an example of others, the police station published the video of the arrest, and no one knows yet if their family have seen the footage or not. But it is certain that more than 15 million people have watched the video on the internet.